Hello everybody, welcome back. As you can see, we're back with this format. This time it's going to be a little different. It's going to be games that hold on, let me get this turned down a little bit. So it's going to be games that I've ranked through, like in other words, games that I've reviewed or games that I have done on Who Remembers. Mainly games on Who Remembers. I haven't really done a lot of, turn it back up, done a lot of games on, not ranking, but reviewing. I've only done a couple, so we're going to see how this plays out. Now, what we have first is Power Stone. You know where Power Stone's going. Come on, we all know where Power Stone's going. It's going in the S rank. Now, why is it going in the S rank? It's because of the playability. It's because of the graphics, the way that it still feels after all these years. It released on the Dreamcast. I still play it. I go back to still play it. I still have the console to play Power Stone. That's how good it is. And that can be just me. That's fine. But it's with the magnitude of stuff that's in the game. Like, each character feels different, each character plays different. The stages, the way that the stages kind of have the danger zones and all that, they can interact with you. They interact with you. There's danger stages. It's so much fun. So not only are you fighting, but it's like you're also having to hurry up and get through a stage. If there's a ceiling collapsing or if there's stuff catching on fire, you have to avoid all that. It's easily an S rank. Easily. Without a shadow of a doubt, it's an S rank. And it's easily in my favorites category. There's different weapons you can use. You can use the environment to hurt your enemy. You can collect the actual power stones themselves and become super powered. It's so much fun. Okay? That's first one. First one down. Now, what we have next is goooo Hyper Grind. So, we're going to put that deserves the A. That's a good spot for it in the A section. And the reason why I'm going to give it an A, because while it was a lot of fun and it felt really familiar because it was during the height of like the Tony Hawk Pro Skater craze that was going on in like the 2000s and all that. So it feels good and it plays, it doesn't exactly play well. That's part of the reason why it's sitting in A. Sometimes the controls are a little wacky, but what they did with it too was they also made a spin on it. So the reason why your character is like super combo efficient and like doing all these insane tricks is because you're in a movie. You're trying out for a TV show. You're trying out for it. So that turns into being part of the reason why it's in it. So they build continuity. So not only are you trying to be a legendary skater, but you're also trying to land this television movie part, which makes it very interesting. And it's not like it's something that if you haven't played it, I would say go ahead and try it, see what you feel about it. But I wouldn't exactly go out of my way to get it, but I would with Power Stone. Let's get that clear. I would I would I would tear my face off. No, I'm just playing. It is really good though. I would say that if you haven't played Power Stone, give it a shot. Um, Either game, one or two, they're both really fun. They both still play really well for what it's worth. The next game we have, The Bouncer. Now this is an interesting one. This I've always felt like it was Final Fantasy and Streets of Rage's love child, and it just kind of met in the middle. And while that sounds weird, it doesn't make it a bad game. It's actually pretty fun with like having the upgrades of being stats, like with your EXP, you kind of work it into your stats or different combos that you can learn. It is fun. You just got to be careful in what you invested in. Um, I know I ripped the design of the main character looking like Sora, but can you blame me? Can you blame me? Hold on. We're just gonna Hold on a sec. I'm just gonna pull it up. Okay. Obviously, Sora, right? Here's Scion. Here is the main lead of this crazy Streets of Rage Final Fantasy Bender twist. Literally, how could you not say that they're not similarly designed? Look at that. Look at that. And that's an older one. I mean, if we're gonna go back, there we go. For me, they look too similar for it to be a coincidence. But anyway, it's still an A. It's still a really good game with solid gameplay and like each character feeling different, and the gameplay and story isn't stagnant at all. Just be careful where you put your stats when you level up. Okay, now Nightmare Creatures. This is a finicky one. This isn't a normal one. I'm rating the Dreamcast one because that's the one I predominantly played. The Dreamcast one is a B. I've played the PlayStation 1 version. The difference being are the controls. The controls for the PlayStation 1 version suck. They're awful. They're worse than the Dreamcast ones. The Dreamcast controls are pretty clunky. However, it's not as bad as the PlayStation 1 port. It's so bad. But what saves this game and gives it such a... Well, B is a good rank. I'd say B is a good rank. It's above F and above D. So what gives it the B rank for me is most definitely the story. It's such a... I don't want to spoil anything. It's just a really gripping story. It really puts you on the edge of your seat. And it's got a really rich environment. So I'd say it's a good recommendation. Now, let's move on to the next game. The next game being Skies of Arcadia. Skies of Arcadia. It's a fun game. It's not space pirates. Sky pirates who don't want to be a sky pirate. Come on now. We're putting that in an A. Bro, come on. Sky pirate, are you serious? Not only that, but you actually get to have ship battles. So that's like everything with a decent story. It's pretty good. I don't hate it. It's mainly just the crazy environment and part of like the story. You're searching for ancient weapons in the original. So we're talking the Dreamcast version. So you're searching for like ancient weapons that you don't want the enemy regime to get their hands on. So it's got really good, rich combat, and then you're also a sky pirate. It's a pretty solid game. It's a pretty solid game. Time Stalkers. Time Stalkers. You, my friend, are in the B rank. Time Stalkers, while not being that long for an RPG standard, in other words, it's short for an RPG game, the story is it's kind of in the middle, but the mechanics involved, like capturing the monsters and the actual combat itself, definitely give it an edge. It's really that much fun that it puts it in the B section. I mean, if it was just based on story alone, it'd probably be a C. It's not the worst story, but it's also not the best. It kind of just right high in the middle. The next game, Rascal. Rascal is an F. Rascal will always and forever be an F. It is the first game I played on the PlayStation 1. I didn't touch my fucking PlayStation 1 for a long time because it was the first game that came with it. It is awful. The controls suck. The game sucks. The story sucks. The only thing that's great about it is the soundtrack, and that's not even going to be enough to save this miserable shit pile. It's an F. I hate it. I can't stand the game at all. If I never see that stupid fucking title card again, it'll be too soon. Jesus Christ. And it's not even like it looks that bad. It sucks. It sucks. Do not play this game. If you wanted to do anything with this game, listen to the damn soundtrack and that's it. The soundtrack is the only thing. that's decent, but it's not saving it. I'm sorry. Anyway, we're going to move on from that because that's just forever. As a matter of fact, it's going to go. Can I add? Here, we're going to put. Let's copy that. Let's move this down. Yeah. Okay. Oh, come on. Okay, there we go. No, we're not going to call it that. We're going to call it literally hell. Never. Never. It can go there. It can go to hell. Never. Never again. I did it for Who Remembers, just to see if anyone did, and surprisingly I did. That's back when I wasn't getting really any comments. I got one, and it was sharing pretty much the same story I had, that they had gotten the game, and it just sucked, but oh my god. I thought about redoing it and having a mic set up with it, because I typed everything out. I think that's around the time I had typed everything out, unless I was speaking. I can't remember. It was a while ago. But I don't think I could bring myself to play it again. It's one of the worst games I've played. It's the worst game well, yeah, I mean, I'd say, for the angry video game nerd, how he hates Simon's Quest. Wait, right? Yeah, Castlevania 2. That's my Castlevania 2. Except I won't revisit it. Unless you guys really want me to, then I can. But please don't want me to. Anyway, grind session. Because that was up top there, but grind session. We're going to move grind session all the way up to a C. Grind session deserves a C spot because it's not really... It rides in the middle. It's fun. I mean, it is fun. Okay, let me try to explain this without screwing it up. It's fun if you're just kind of like skating around and you're just kind of mishmashing some tricks together and you're not really having a full clause idea of what or where you want to go with things, or how you want to work it, and sing the different levels. The soundtrack's really, really good, actually. I do love the soundtrack. But the problem is when it comes to the lines, doing a certain line that, you have to do in order to, progress. You need to do these certain lines for points, or respect points, I think they call them in the game. Trying to hit them all in one go it's the worst thing ever, because you can't do it. You won't be able to string them all in one combo because you have to time it just right, that the right pixel is in the right spot. It's annoying, but it's also in the middle, because it is just fun to just skate around in the game and explore the different parts. So I'll be generous. We'll put it in the middle. For other people, it may rank higher. That tomato. That's where we have it. Now the next game, another skateboarding game. I've reviewed a shitload of skateboarding games. Let's see, we got 1, 2, well, we got 3. That's not so bad. I thought we had more. It looked like we had more. But Evolution Skateboarding, this is going to sit, for me, in the S. I had to, if you notice, I had to tilt that, because normally it sits at an angle, but we couldn't have that to where it would fit and be, it would kind of just look like it's sitting on 2 ranks. But for me, it's an S rank. Because while not being some overhyped skateboarding game that's like, oh, you're doing this, this, and this, what it does offer is pretty good soundtrack. It offers really good gameplay, and some of the. Well, I'm not going to sit here and say every single trick in the game is realistic, but they do realize if you're doing a hard flip, it's not a split-second trick. It takes time. Some of the tricks in the game take time, and it's not because it's lagging or whatever. It's like it actually takes time for the board to flip. It actually takes time for things to happen, like with motion in your body or whatever. It's not super realistic to where I'd call it like a sim, but at the same time, it does have little shining moments like that kind of, for me, give it an edge over a lot of other games because it's a lot of fun. I mean, it's a lot of fun to try to add something with a little complexity to make it a little bit more difficult but more satisfying when you land the combo. It's like, do you want to have something where you're doing a millions of tricks and only get 100 points, or do you want to have something that looks smooth as butter and you're still racking up the same amount of points? I don't know. For me, I'd rather have the smooth as butter. And plus, with Evolution Skateboarding, there's damn boss battles. Who don't want to fight a tank as a skateboarder? You're sitting there grinding the fucking turrets of a tank and shit to blow it up, to literally blow it up. Like, you're doing all this insane. You fight a giant spider in a cathedral just because. Just do it. Just because you're a skateboarder. We're skateboarder guy, and that's what skateboarder guy does. Or you're skateboarder gal, and that's what skateboarder gal does. So, it's fun. Plus the pros, and they have a lot of pros in the game. And they have Solid Snake and Raiden, and a few others, I believe. They have an alien, I know for sure, and... oh god, put me on the spot, because I cannot remember for the life of me what else is in the game. I think there are a lot of, like, gimmicky characters. Like, the aliens got super stats, and I think they might have... do they have Bigfoot? We're just gonna have to check. Evolution, skateboarding, secret characters. That's not gonna show me images. Well, whatever. Fine then. I can't think of it. Maybe we'll do a video where we come back to it. I think I have them unlocked on the PlayStation 2. If you guys can do me a favor, could you comment down below where I could find a tool that can take my save data from my physical memory cards and transfer them to my PC? Or what could I do that with the USB drive? Because the last time I tried, I wasn't able to plug one in. Well, I was, but it just didn't read it. So I don't know if I would have to reformat it into a different typing or what I would have to do. I guess I could look it up, but if I hear anything from you guys, just let me know. Well, obviously I'll know, but you know what I mean. But anyways, going back to Evolution Skateboarding, fuck, I got sidetracked. It deserves the S rank for the boss battles, the gameplay, the way the game looks. It's not like realistic or nothing. It's definitely cartoony, but it pulls it off with swagger. It's really good. Now, the next game, Max Payne. Where do you think we're putting Max Payne? Come on, after the introspective, where do you think I'm putting Max Payne? We're putting it in the motherfucking S rank. You know why we're putting it in the S rank? The story, the gameplay, the way the story is told, the mechanics, the everything. Max Payne definitely lives to the hype that you hear about. Following around a brooding cop who just can't seem to shake that bad luck. Max Payne is the epitome of whatever can happen, will happen. But he fights through it nonetheless. And for that, we commend him. Everybody, bow your heads for Max Payne, as he has been fighting hard. Now, there have been tales of a remaster. That's actually why I did the introspective, because I had heard little quips and rumors that there was going to be a full remaster of 1 and 2. I hope so. I really hope so. And I hope we get something in between 2 and 3 because of that big jump that it does. Like, I know we play certain segments that are in between, but I love to see us something more in depth of what happens. Now, ooh, the next game, Asphalt Legends 9. Now, if you remember, you guys, when I first was reviewing this game, because this and Metal Gear Solid, wait, what else did I review? This, and I think I put Metal Gear Solid and Max Payne, but since I already ranked Metal Gear Solid, I felt like it would just be kind of beating a dead horse if I were to just put it on the list again, because it was Metal Gear Solid 3, and we had already talked about that. So I didn't want to kind of add the same thing to this list because it has nothing to do with it. What happened to the music? Play. Thank you. Jesus. Anyway, back to it. But Asphalt Legends 9. That, if you remember, I ranked it high. So where do you think we're putting this? It's going in the sea. So, I may have overhyped it. I know when I first reviewed it, I scored it high. I think I gave it like an 8.5 or a 9.5, something high like that. I was just in the honeymoon phase with it. It's a free-to-play racing game that it does offer a pretty good variety of like vehicles and sometimes some maps, not a lot. But the problem is that you have to grind your ass off for stuff that it's a minute thing that you would have to either upgrade or get, but you have to grind your ass off for, like, not like a tedious grind. You're not doing stuff it doesn't feel fun and fluid. Like, after playing it for a long time, you just start to do the challenges and it's just the same thing. It's just the same kind of involvement. It's the same kind of thing. It's not like, if you were to pop in a Need for Speed game or a Forza game or, games like that where they have challenges that actually challenge you. The maps are really short, and just all around in general, it just rides in the middle. It's just, there's not a lot of variety in everything. There's variety in certain things, but there's not variety in everything. So it makes it feel inconsistent, which it just, for me, it rides in the middle because of that. It's fun for a quick free-to-play game. Like, if you're bored, I think I'm just going to pop in Asphalt Legends 9 and do a couple races. That's about it. But if you're looking for something with a little more longevity, I don't know why I said tevity. It's not like, you're not going to feel like you're playing Forza, Need for Speed, or like Dirt or anything like that. You're not going to feel like you're playing any of those games, which it's not designed to. It's designed to be its own thing. I understand that. But when you're pitted up as an arcade racer towards other arcade racer games, you can't help but to feel like there's going to be some type of comparison with it. So for me personally, mid. After long thought, long process with it, mid. Now the last game on our list, cue the confetti. I don't have confetti, but if I did. Here, wait, hold on a second. There we go, there's our confetti. Cue the confetti, there's our confetti. Alright, going back to it. Last game being Castlevania Lament of Innocence. Now, let me preface this with this. I know I was harsh in saying that they just they made a game because Symphony of the Night was successful. While I still kind of feel like that, it doesn't take away that this fucking game deserves its spot in the A ranking. It definitely deserves a spot up there. It's really good. I was brutal to it in my opinion that they made the game for Symphony of the Night. Like, they had to make a game to compete with their own game. So I will admit that, but that doesn't take away from the fact that it's a really good game. The only thing is, the only reason it's not in the S rank, the only reason is because it's short. It's really short. But the engaging boss battles you can do, the different waves of enemies that you encounter, the different ways of attacking, it's a solid game. It's a solid, really good game. But that's my list, and I hope you all enjoyed it. Please don't be too critical. It is just an opinion. Share your opinions with me. Alright, everybody. This is where this video is going to end. I want to thank you all for watching. I appreciate you all. And 1K gang. Let's go.